Hi, everybody. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 1. We are back.
We're
It's
back,
those
baby.
competitive gaming, baby. It's time to strip Tom of his cup. No longer will he hold the title of champion. Am I right, Cardinal? Am I right?
Everything's reset, Luvva. That's right.
That's
We're back
it.
in business.
It's
The
the
scoreboard is empty.
But
Nope.
I'm going to go back to back. That is the plan. That is the idea. I'm excited. Season 5. It's been forever. I'm so excited. Competition gameplay is back.
And it's going to be more competitive than ever. Gentlemen, Tomahawk, you ain't going back to back. I need to get
Somebody
that second
has to.
cup. I need to get my second
You're
cup.
going,
I
you're
smashed
going
one.
back to bottom.
I smashed a cup earlier on. I need to replace that. And there's no better cup than the High Scores High Stakes Championship Cup. And I'm coming for it. But anyway, before we get into all this nonsense, we are High Scores High Stakes. That's who we are. What do we do? I hear you ask, oh, listener. Well, what we are is we are a competitive PlayStation podcast where me, Cardinal Smith, and Tomahawk compete against one another in a league of PlayStation gaming challenges. Every week we pick a new game. Every week we play a new challenge. The winner of the challenge gets 3 points. Second place gets 2 points. Third place gets 1 point. At the end of the season, which is 12 weeks, whoever is top of the league becomes the High Scores, High Stakes champion and wins the coveted, highly sought after, highly fought after High Scores, High Stakes Cup. Also available.
Or cups, plural.
Or cups,
As
plural.
modelled by the lovely Cardinal Smith, yes.
Like he does every week. Never fails to get those cups from behind his monitor or wherever he keeps them. But yes, that's who we are. That's what we do. Does anyone want to... I know we got into a wee bit of a slabber matter. Does anyone want to say anything about how they rate their chances for Season 5? Really? Like bravado. Or with bravado. I don't mind.
Probably not with bravado. I'm going to go with probably about a 33.3% chance, but I'm a genetic freak, so when you take Cardinal Smith out of the equation, I've actually got a 66.6% chance of winning.
Are you saying that the numbers don't lie?
Numbers don't lie in this instance.
Season 5 means trouble for me. Is that what you're saying?
If there were ever a time for Scott Steiner math, Season 5 is the time for it now.
It is. Cardinal, how do you fancy your chances? You had big words last week. Big words.
When I
Big
wasn't
words,
here.
big words. Look, all I can say is I win the, let's see, the first season, the third season. What season's this? The fifth?
Fifth
5,
season.
odd numbers, odd cups, odd cardinal. Bring it home. Look, I was nicey season 2. Season 4, polite. Let's share. Okay, that's enough. Time to play, boys. The big boys in town. That sounds weird.
It does
I wanna
sound
win.
a bit weird.
I just say I just want to win. That's all.
Yeah, I will say before Luvva gives his impending speech about how it's his birthright and whatnot, everyone has something to gain here. I plan to go back to back, which has never been done before. Cardinal wants to be the three-peat champion, which has never been done before. And Luvva evidently just thinks it's his and his alone to have. So, yeah, we've all got
Luvva
something
just
to-
needs a new mug.
just needs a new look.
You're absolutely spot on with what you just said there. You do want to go back to back. No one's ever done it. We ain't going to start now. Cardinal wants a third cup. He's only got 2 hands. He doesn't need a third cup. It's absolutely superfluous to his requirements. Me, on the other hand, it's all about me, baby. I've been robbed season 1. I've been robbed season, 3?
3.
And I was robbed the last season as well. It's an absolute joke. All these season-long challenges. Let's let Instagram vote for our winner. Let's let Instagram. Let's get Mother to vote for me 3 times. Let's do that, Tomahawk. I'm here
Absolute
to
bot
right
farms.
the wrongs of the past. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to take scalps starting tonight. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take scalps. You're 2 scalps.
Are we already friends?
No.
Apparently, I don't know. When he hits
Alright.
record, something changes in him. He hits record and he becomes a nasty man.
I've misunderstood. Who are you guys?
But yes, before we get into the competitive gaming side of High Scores, High Stakes, let's talk about where, if 1 hour ish of High Scores, High Stakes content isn't enough to get you through your week, where you can get more content. We hunt everywhere on the internet, and the easiest place to find all those links is highscoreshighstakes.com. On the top of the homepage, there's all the links. Just click them, follow us, hit subscribe, whatever it might be. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't yet hit subscribe, like 90% of the viewers do, hit subscribe. Nay, do it. Final warning. If you've been listening for a long time and you haven't told a family member or a friend about High Scores, High Stakes, consider doing that as well. Hit the wee share button. If you haven't left us a review, give us 1 star to 5 if you think we're worth. And if you want to leave us a written review, that's even better. So it is. It's brilliant. This week, I thought I'd do something a little bit different because it's the big start of season 5.
Ooh-wee.
I threw out a little tweet saying, Season 5 recording tonight. It was a bit of a lie because we're recording today, not last night. We got 2 replies. The first one was from Unskippable Dialogue. He just wishes good luck for the season. Thank you very much, Unskippable Dialogue. Appreciate it. But big fan and friend of the show, Parsival, he left us this message. He just says, best of luck for the season ahead, guys. Hoping for a few controversial moments. Always good to have that. LOL. Parsival. It's unscripted. Can't promise you, but we'll try our best. We'll try our best.
I mean,
Nonsense.
12 weeks is a long, long time.
It is.
The season breaks us down. It makes us do things.
It tests us big time.
There'll be controversy.
Yeah. And also this week, gentlemen, we had big news. We were named as a hidden gem of a podcast. So we were on podcast.today. Perfect. Go check them out.
Look at that.
Go check them out. They obviously have
waves.
great tastes in podcasts, so they do. But yeah, with all that being said, all the housekeeping out the way, all the plugs out the way, it's time for me to ask Cardinal, what are you playing?
Well, there's no better time to start off season 5 to tell you I've been playing a grand strategy solo single player experience by myself.
What? You don't play grand strategy games? What?
It's called Stellaris. I think I said it before once. Yeah. What? No, it's space. It's so chill.
It's been about 3 seasons since he's played Stellaris, to be quite honest. So I'm quite looking forward to the refresher here.
It is. It's very chill. There's lots of new DLCs and things happening. Alien space technology. Convert the human race into cyborgs. It's all good. It's all there. It's fun. It's fun.
It's good.
It's fun. It's really complex. Everything breaks. Everyone dies. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's on my Steam library as well. It must have been in a Humble Bundle or something. I do own Stellaris. I've never played it. Probably never will. But thank you, Humble. Tomahawk, what about you, mate? Please don't say it's a grand strategy. What are you playing?
I've been playing the grand strategy game. No. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Okay.
Because I just thought, why not? I didn't care for the Phantom Pain as much, but I thought Ground Zeroes was a great like prelude and a great kind of like goodbye from Hideo.
Mm-hmm.
He basically went, here's the game I want to make, but I'm going to fall out with you, so we're not going to finish the games. But here's what you could have got. And it's excellent. The game still looks phenomenal. It's one of the best like looking games I think I've seen on like the PS4 era, really.
Yeah, it would be upper. That game was made because he had blown his budget, right? And they're like, well, you have to do something to make your own money.
Yeah, like it was basically like the 2-hour prelude or something like that. Really, if you wanted to flesh it out, you could do it in about 2 hours or so, and then they give you the side missions and like timed trials or something like that as well, like essentially the VR missions. That it was awesome, and it still kind of pulls the heartstrings. I won't. I probably will finish it and probably think, will I play Phantom Pain? Probably not. Will I go back and play Ground Zeroes again? More than likely.
Yeah, why not? I remember liking it enough. So I did. I remember it being quite good.
It's as Metal Gear Solid in the modern era as we ever got, because obviously Ground Zero or Phantom Pain became this big open world fetch quest-a-thon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Had its moments.
But that's it. That's it, really. I can't say I've been playing an awful lot, apart from maybe a little bit of Balatro here and there, just
I'm terrified of
scratch
installing that.
scratch that itch. Really, buy it on the phone; it'll change your life. Don't bother.
No.
Don't bother putting it on the PlayStation.
No, I don't want to. I put it in the phone and play it more. No, it's on my PlayStation library. I'll never install it because it will consume me. I've no doubt in my mind. But I have been playing very, very, very little. So I think the only thing I've played this week is literally Power Stone 2 on the Fighting Collection. And that's it. That is it. I haven't had much time this week to play much. So my contribution to this segment was worthwhile. We might just cut this out.
That's it. I know that you've got Street Fighter 6 prepped because like we were supposed to record the day previous, but the state of play kind of consumed our lives.
Yes, it did. It was good. It was really
very good.
Hang on, every single week and every time we do this, what are you playing? Love it. You always say after I finish, oh, come on, Tomahawk, save the segment. What have you been playing? I only play like strategies and Final Fantasies or the other thing. It's like, save the segment. No, you've played some. I don't even know what you've played. The Thunderstone, Power Thunders, Power Rangers too. I mean, who cares? What's that? Save the segment? Give me a break.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely zero respect here for the host and savior of the podcast. But whatever.
Lord.
Whatever. It's all love. It's all love. Hand hearts. It's all love. Right. Anyway, let's get this back on track. Right. We have business to attend to tonight. I'm not interested in the games that we have all been playing because they're inconsequential when it comes to competitive PlayStation gaming. I'm interested in the gaming challenge for this week. Me and Cardinal let the cat out of the bag last week. We told everyone it was Astrobot's Playroom. Tomahawk, this was your champion's choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes and I'm going to let you explain the challenge and the scoring of the challenge.
Okay, so as you said, Astro's Playroom, phenomenal little tech demo for the PlayStation 5. I figured, what's the best thing that I know what to do in these challenges? A speed run. What's better than one speed run? 3 speed runs. And what I've decided to do then is I've decided to champion some of the elements that come with Astro's Playroom. So we are doing the regular mountain run, just the generic DualSense. We're doing the climbing run, which is a lot of shaking and a lot of tapping. And we are doing the rolling run, which is a lot of swiping on the trackpad. So a lot of elements that are championed in Astro's Playroom throughout. And I figured, let's put them all to the test. And it's going to basically be 3, 2, 1 points per speedrun attempt.
Love it. Love it. The one thing you left out there is roll and run also gives you a good old dose of carpal tunnel syndrome and repetitive strain injuries.
It does. It is one of those ones I thought, this is genius. It champions everything that like Astro's Playroom does for the PlayStation and what the PlayStation sort of intends as a system. What I didn't realize is how much I was going to hate doing this. About 40 attempts deep.
yes.
As is the way with a typical speedrun challenge. I ended up wanting to not even the game out the window. I just wanted to actually fire Astrobot into a cannon out of the stratosphere.
Yes,
his little chirping just to that point became patronizing.
I'm not gonna lie. After a little while, I put the TV on mute because I couldn't deal with the noises and the constant scraping sounds and the roll and run and all that business. And then you turn your TV volume down, it's like, I'm saved from it. But no, you're not, because the controller speaker is on.
The DualSense speaker, yeah.
They just didn't want you to get away from the charming nature of Astrobot's Playroom.
He's so damn cute. He was everywhere. I couldn't get rid of him.
I know. It's a great game.
Look, it's a fine game. It's a fine game, and it's just nothing compared to Astrobot, the 2024 Game of the Year. You should buy it now. It's absolutely brilliant.
No, definitely.
These guys haven't partaken in the buying of it or the playing of it. They're missing out. But there's no rollerball, so there's no scraping sound. That's already a win. Or monkey suit.
That's a plus.
Really? Like,
it's 2 pluses, to be fair. That's 2 pluses. But
that's
let's
my sales pitch. Thanks to Soapy.
Let's not spoil this any longer. Let's get straight into Astrobot's Playroom Challenge and the return of Name That Game. Let's go there now. And here we are, gentlemen. The first speed run, the first challenge of season 5. And as Tomahawk said there, this is 3 speed runs. The first one is Mountain Run. And the way this is going to work is triple points, effectively. 3, 2, 1 for every single one of these speed runs. So let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's get straight into this. Let's see how we got on, because this was the most traditional of the speed runs, but it was also one of the most frustrating of the speed runs.
The more technically daring, I suppose.
To be honest, yeah. Cardinal, whenever you're ready, mate, let's hit that play button. It's been a while since I've said that, so it has.
I mean, let's go. Let's go.
Yep, I'm noticing.
Go ahead.
Cardinal. No, you go first.
No, I just noticed that we're all very similar straight away. Luvva's on the left, Tomahawk's in the middle, I'm on the right. And I find this really difficult, this level, actually.
So did I. It was deceptively tough. There was a lot of... I'm presuming that we have all literally watched the same speed run guide on YouTube here, gentlemen.
I would say so. There's a certain amount of space cut out completely from the map there, and I'm very much looking at this and thinking, as quick as it started, it is over.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there going, we have certainly watched the same YouTube tutorial video there, but that's it. It's over already. It wasn't long, but we're here for a good time, not a long one. So basically,
that's the nature of these speedruns, right? They're over in a flash.
But just before we get into the scores there, for those who aren't watching on the video, the game gives you this very linear path, and it's kind of like a zigzag up the mountain, really. But it's only until you have, as you say, we were watching a speed run and you get this shortcut essentially through the entire map straight through the middle.
Yes.
Then you're like, how? It's genius that these people have obviously built this game knowing that speedrunners are going to have at it completely.
Yeah.
Now, did you all see the same speedrun that I saw, where they basically cut through the middle of all these big, massive gaps?
Yes.
And are clipping, glitching into the surfaces then?
Yes. I tried that a few times. I successfully did it once, but it took about 3 minutes to set up.
Folks, I watched this glitching speedrun, and I historically don't like speedrunners using glitches because it's game breaking and it's against nature. Yeah. So I didn't use it, and that was as fast as I could go without it. But also the reason I couldn't adapt to it, because the new Astrobot game behaves differently. So I noticed in you guys were jumping and then punching and then laser legging. And that doesn't work as well in the new one, because I think you have to jump, laser leg, then punch. I couldn't get my head around it. So
I do really appreciate how you have learned about the speedruns as well, and looking at the times. That is as closer than I could have ever imagined. But what I noticed is you went for the first parasol, and I'm not entirely sure what the logic was behind. If either of you have a explanation for that, because
exactly what I said. The method I was using wouldn't get me jumping as far, so I couldn't reach the second parasol because I was jumping, laser legs, then punching.
Yeah, it was
like you guys.
For me, it's the shortest route to the top of the wall.
But that was it. 100%. So I just ignored the first parasol, and I went through the circle onto the parasol, and then up to the cog that way. So you kind of started jumping and trying to traverse that way as if you were going over to the palm tree as well. But maybe just it needs a second or two at the very, very start. But
I thought when you said parasol, I was thinking of the cog. I just wanted to jump on it because it made you go high and it made you feel fun.
My thought was he runs slower on sand, so the less time my feet are on the sand, the better. I don't think I touched the sand at all in that speed run. That was my thoughts on the matter. Was if I'm not touching that sand, I'm not getting slowed down by the sand.
Traction, yeah.
Therefore, this should be fast. And it wasn't too much slower than yours.
So 3 seconds between us.
Yeah.
Realistically.
here is the results of that speed run, which is Mountain Run for audio listeners. In first place, getting himself 3 points, is Tomahawk with 39 seconds, 39.33 seconds. If I could read that, that would be a brilliant achievement. In second place was me with 41.64 seconds. And in third place was our Cardinal Smith with 42.89 seconds. So yeah, about 2.5 seconds between all of us. Not bad. Not bad. I find this particular speedrun mountain run, because it was the most traditional of the 3 levels, I find this the most pleasant to play through, but it was infuriating trying to shave milliseconds off your time. And there was 1 or 2 runs where I was like really, really, really fast. And at the end of the level, those platforms that fall down, I got, you're moving so fast, you just get stuck and you fall back down to the ground, and then that's your speed. That's your run dead.
That's the run killed right at the end as well.
Like the amount of times I did that was crazy. The amount of times I tried to cut bigger corners than what I cut. Like you would notice near the end of that level, the second big where you run along a platform with the bullets. Yeah. I just couldn't get myself to cover that whole gap in one jump, so I had to go onto the boardwalk for a second and then jump back off to get myself over that gap. I know it's possible, but I just couldn't. I think I did it once, but it was a lot of careful positioning of Astrobot, and it was just too slow.
Yeah, I noticed in that last second as well, as you hit the trampoline, I did learn this pretty quickly, that if you spin mid-flight, you'll kill any kind of arcing momentum, and you can kind of glide quicker onto the finished podium as well. It's minimal in terms of what you shave off, but I think I was roughly, before I got to my final run, at least anyway, I think I was sitting in and around the same time as yourself, Luvva, and then just out of the blue, a sub 40. I was like, I'm gonna cut, whatever, I'm gonna cut it there, gonna delete Astrobot, I'm never looking at this game again.
Yeah, it was one of those ones, because I was having flashbacks to Crash Bandicoot, and I remember in episode 1, I remember saying there's a point where you just know that this is where you have to stop. Otherwise, you're just going to strip all enjoyment out of this game for yourself. And once I got my time there, that 41.64, I was like, I did 2 more runs, and they were all they felt faster, but were slightly slower. They were you're talking 41.72 and 41.78, I think, were my 3 fastest times. And I was like, that's it. I'm not touching that one again. And let's start concentrating on the other 2 that were a lot less traditional speed run levels, shall we say. Yeah. But that is it. The state of play right now is Tomahawk, you've got 3 points. I've got 2 points. Cardinal has 1 point. That's the state of play. But we do have 2 more speed runs to come. But we also have the return of Name That Game. And our host for season 5 is going to be Cardinal Smith. Now, I presume this is because in season 4, he got absolutely annihilated by me in it. You didn't stand a chance against me. I appreciate that. You think the winner should stay on, is what you're saying here. You've had enough of being beaten, embarrassed, humiliated in Name That Game.
I seem to remember it being even, most of the season 4.
No, I think you're misremembering. You were absolutely annihilated by me. The final score was 7-6, and that is pure domination by anyone's measure. But anyway,
a win is a win.
Name That Game is coming straight after this.
And welcome back. That's right. We have seen the first challenge, the first speed run. Tomahawk taking the 3 points. Well, I guess he is the champion, but this is where it all changes. Not in terms of the season, but this is Name That Game. We have Luvva v Tomahawk all season long, baby. But with a twist this time around, you will be naming that game.
Ooh.
However, we're going to be giving you a bad synopsis of a game, and you will have to guess. If anything, you have to name that game.
This is like a name that game decathlon. You're going to do it in 10 different formats, aren't you?
Who
Over the
knows?
season.
Who
You got it.
knows? As many different formats as they can think of, maybe not 10. There may be recycling here.
There may be, but these aren't bad. These are short things. So, folks, there'll be 1 point for the right answer. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no
Here is your first bad synopsis. Insert Lady Gaga's bad synopsis. Right. Here we go. You're a human blender with PTSD and a sword bigger than your future.
A human blender with PTSD. Oh, it's Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy 7. Yeah. I mean, we always go by who shouts out the loudest and first.
A human
You're a
blender?
human blender with PTSD and a sword bigger than your future.
I'm sticking Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, it's not Final Fantasy 7. It's not Final Fantasy.
You're a human blender?
With PTSD, I genuinely can't think.
And a sword bigger than your future.
I'm gonna go with prototype.
Oh, it's not right. It's good, but it's not right. What we're gonna do in this one, it's cruel, but I'm gonna tell you, it's Devil May Cry.
What?
It's Devil May Cry. I know, but we
Fair
have
enough.
to thank Gen AI for this. But I wanted to get a point for somebody here, so we're on to the next one. Here's your second chance. You wake up in a castle, everything's on fire, you kill furniture and scream about someone stealing your lunch.
I mean, what? Read that one again. Read that again for me.
You wake up in a castle, everything's on fire, you kill furniture and scream about someone stealing your lunch.
What an amazing synopsis that is. Wake up in a castle, everything's on fire, you fight furniture and scream about somebody stealing your lunch. Well, that's just wild. That's the worst synopsis I've ever heard in my life. That is a bad synopsis.
That is a very bad synopsis. It's not like Symphony of the Night or something stupid like that. I've missed a subplot here or something.
Point to Tomahawk. It is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Well done, Tomahawk. Point to you. That is one. That is 1-0 to Tomahawk. That's Luvva on 0, Tomahawk on 1. And with that, we move on to the next challenge.
After that absolute travesty of a name that game, it is time to get back into some more top tier gameplay. And this is speedrun number 2. And this was just called Rolling Run, where the object of the game here is Astrobot is for some reason in a ball, and we have to roll him through an obstacle course in the fastest time possible. So, Cardinal, you need to redeem yourself here after whatever that was for doing the game. Let's hit the play button and see how we get on here.
I'll tell you right now, I hated this level. I didn't like this rolling mechanic. You're brushing the touchpad like nobody's business, and you have to avoid hitting anything ever throughout.
No, it was really, really frustrating. I did discover, though, a really handy technique. If you dual thumb it and use one for steering and one for momentum, you get a really clean run.
I used a similar technique where I would use my 2 fingers and move them in the same direction. But if you did sharp angles, so if you did like a right angle to the right or left, he turned pretty much instantly. That's what I learned through this here. So it is, it wasn't. I really like this one. This one reminded me of like Marble Madness or Super Monkey Ball and that sort of like ilk of game. I really enjoy this one. My only issue with this was I don't know if it's the design of the Dual Sense controller or if it's just my old age getting to me, but I couldn't play this for more than like 10 minutes before my wrist was absolutely on fire. Like,
sounds
and I
like
mean
column A and column B here. But no, I get what you mean. I get what kind of put me off doing multiple runs back to back was just the sheer audio what's the word? Just blasting of like whatever music that they choose. It just became numbing at one point. But that is what these games are aimed at the youth of today. But yeah, there's something about how the controller's designed and how the trackpad works that it's such a finite space that you have to work with. So it became a bit hard on the thumbs.
Like, yeah, it's
If
really
you're a
responsive.
60-year-old man like all of us, and you're hearing fellow 60-year-old men complain about playing Astrobot, don't listen to them. We chose to play this game.
We
That's
did.
true.
We
We
did.
did.
It's our fault for making a premise on a podcast where we have to compete against one another, and it's Tom's fault more than anything else for picking speed run challenges. It's his fault. It's not Astrobot's fault. We still love Astrobot.
Champion's choice.
We still love Team Asobi, but just my wrists just couldn't take any more of this rolling.
I could not do this. This was the fastest time I was able to do, flat out. And I couldn't use my thumbs. I couldn't dual thumb.
Yeah.
I couldn't dual finger. I could only use my second finger to just brush the touchpad. And I couldn't go straight either.
Okay. Yeah, going straight is the biggest challenge, especially in that second part where there's the dried lava. Is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, because there's two little pools of mud, and if
once you hit them, your run's dead.
Yeah, that's it. But it's that second one that's just at the mouth of the exit, and if you are trying to cut that inside line, I'm using racing terms here, Cardinal. If you want to kiss the apex a little bit, you can get straight into the mud straight, and that's it. Your run's dead.
I couldn't go straight. I couldn't do it. I hated this one. I don't like
the dual thumbs. That's what you want. One for direction.
Yeah, this was the one I was the best at. This was these 3 speed runs. This one I felt I was of all 3. This was the one I favored my skill set. I think it was. I thought we're complaining about how it hurt our wrists and all that sort of stuff. Valid, but also it was really responsive. The controls worked exceptionally well.
Yeah,
I was shocked at how well this mini game controlled.
Oh yeah, the whole entirety of Astro's Playroom really just champions everything, every element that the PlayStation and the DualSense sort of do, and I think that's what was so good about every level. Even playing Astro's Playroom as a whole, you get all these elements and then you marry them together in these kind of mini games at the very end, and it does sort of force you to learn them. And it was really cool because you get a lot of trackpad mechanics in games, and they're not very good, as you say, not very responsive. Whereas this was a Team Asobi have basically gone and made this perfect.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Functional, yeah.
Because you look at the DualSense and that touchpad doesn't look any different from the touchpad in the PlayStation 4 controller. The PlayStation 4 controller's one was really unresponsive, and I don't know what they've changed about it, if there's more capacitors on it, whatever it might be. This controlled brilliantly, and you could tell from visual clues, obviously, from what you were doing. I could tell that if a run was slower than my last run, and I could kill it early and then restart, all because of the feedback from the controller. The feedback on this one was incredible. When you roll over the sand at the start, it feels like you're running over sand. When you run over the rocks, you can feel the bumps and the knocks. I don't know. Did any of you hit the pin as you go into the first wee slalom?
Yeah, and
I played this 100 times. Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. Just this level was. I really enjoyed playing this level, but my only thing with it was I couldn't play it for very long in a single setting. I would have to go back to Mountain Run to let my wrist recover. But yeah, that one was great. That was my favorite of the 3, and it was the one I felt I was best at of all of them. So this is at the end of the second speedrun challenge then. So once again, Tomahawk has come first with a time of 32.59.
Ridiculous.
I have come in second with a 33.24, and Cardinal, you've come in third again with a 38.04, which means that the points distribution is exactly the same as it was the first time. Tomahawk currently sitting on 6 points. I'm currently sitting on 4 points, and Cardinal, you're sitting on 2 points after 2 speed runs. We have one more left. but I also feel that we have one more name that game round.
Yes,
So
you
let's
do.
get there. Let's go.
Welcome back. All right, here we are. We are being savaged by Tomahawk in the challenge so far, but in this one, I don't get savage. Only Luvva does. It's 1-0 to Tomahawk in the Name That Game challenge. Bad Synopsis edition. Bad Synopsis. Gentlemen, are you ready for round 2?
Born ready.
Let's do it.
You take a job with some environmentalists and end up in a very complicated therapy session involving swords and emotions.
That's Final Fantasy VII.
I'm going to let him take that one. I think that only seems fair.
Oh, that's wrong. It's any Final Fantasy. No, it's right. It's Final Fantasy VII. Well done. That's cute. It's 1-1.
Yay! Yay! The equilibrium has been restored.
Over to the final challenge.
And this is it. Round 3 of 3. This is the final speed run that Tom has picked as his champion's choice challenge. It is climb and run. It is the worst aspect of Astrobot's Playroom. It was horrible from start to finish. No spoilers here, though.
Yeah.
Cardinal.
Before we do hit start, I do want to say I do apologize for this one. I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into at the start. FYI, when I was like testing this at the start, my first time to completion was 56 seconds.
Yeah, likewise.
Because
this one's rough.
Awful. It was horrible.
horrible level. Absolutely broke me as a man.
For context, there's 8 speedrun levels in Astrobot's Playroom. You could have chosen any of the other 6.
I know. I did see this one purely because this one is control tilts and the haptic response on the triggers. That's what this sort of champions as such. I figured that would be quite a cool little element. I didn't realize it would be the most annoying thing and the most annoying feature on the PlayStation 5, let's face it.
Yeah,
in this instance, though.
I don't think it's an annoying feature. I think it was implemented here in the most ridiculous way. Clearly, it's not designed for what we're playing this as, to be fair. It wasn't designed for a speedrun. It's designed to have fun. And, oh, look at me. I'm twisting my controller and climbing up a mountain. This is fun. It was not fun, Team Asobi. It just wasn't. It was horrendous. It was hard. It was impossible. It gave me PTSD. I can never look at another robot the same way. And to be fair, that's why I haven't bought Astrobot, the full game, because this
is
scarred me.
Experience.
It scarred me. It broke me as a human being. I'm not the same man I was this time 2 weeks ago. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, Cardinal, let's check this out. The only good thing is this is a short speed run, so let's check out and see what the crack is. Let's go.
All right, good luck, chaps.
Because the laugh is, it gives you this like false sense of here's a load of handholds, but then it gives you the one where it has to give you the soft trigger.
Yes.
Oh, that ruined me.
Yes, very much so. It took me a very long time to figure out how to grab onto those parts, to be honest. But yeah, I struggled with this one massively, as you can tell.
Fast we go. Like, we're never this fast climbing up these things at the start. I spent the most time by far on this one.
Days. I tried to spend the least amount of time on this one because I realized what I'd got into, and I was like, I have to play this up as if like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I hated everything about this as a challenge, as a mechanic in this instance, because no matter how like same your approach was, that controller seemed to just behave differently in every run.
Oh, it was a nightmare. There was clearly a knack and a rhythm to it, because there was bits of that one where I felt like I was getting what the game obviously wanted me to do. I just couldn't do it consistently. I did about 7-8 runs in this, and I was like, you know what? I'm absolutely not touching that again. I hated that with every fiber of my being. I hate that more than I've ever hated any other speedrun we've ever done on this podcast. And I've hated some of the previous ones.
I didn't like the level. Even in the main game where you're just having fun, not speedrun. I don't like the monkey climbing.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I'm just glad he didn't pick the frog suit thing, because that would have been brutal.
That is the worst. That's not even in the new Astrobot game. There's no.
I like how they use this as like a beta test of what worked and what didn't work and what they can remove out of the Astrobot proper. So I quite like that, because I did like the rocket one, but I didn't think the rocket level was actually as nice as speedrun. It didn't flow, in my opinion, quite well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why they probably canned this from Astrobot proper. But yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, there was some fun.
I find the way you talked about rhythm and how to get it. I kept playing it again and again and again. And then when I swore in between every button press, that was my rhythm.
That was your rhythm.
I was going, but saying words out loud that were offensive.
Explicit deleted.
That's incredible. Whatever works. Whatever works. But let's get to the results here of Climb and Run, and they are not the same as last round, because me and Cardinal swap places this time. Tomahawk has come in first with a 22.58. Cardinal has come in second with a 23.54, and I've come in third with a 33.83.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Tomahawk's getting 3 points, Cardinal's getting 2 points, and I'm getting 1 point. Easy peasy. What does this mean, though, for the overall league table after challenge number 1? Well, it means this, dear listeners. It means in first place on 9 points is Tomahawk. In second place on 5 points is me. And in third place on 4 points, it is Cardinal Smith. Cardinal, you've blown it. The biggest proponent of Astrobot is you. And you've come last.
Look, I give this a fair shot in the dark, but this was a tough one.
Now, when you look at the climb and run time, then you go 22.88 to 23.54. That is insane. And obviously, like we don't see these scores until basically the reveal. That is as close. Like, I thought to myself, sub 23, nobody's coming anywhere close to that. Cardinal, I was worried for a second. I really was.
It was tight, right to the wire. I'm miffed that I got knobbed to the line. But here we are.
Yeah. It was 2 challenges that were really, really, really close, to be fair. Roll and Run 32.59 for Tom, 33.24 for me, less than what's that?
An eighth of eight tenths of a second or something like that. Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, that's it. Tomahawk on 9 points. I'm on 5 points. Cardinals on 4 points at the end of episode 1. Bingo. Bango.
The Champions Challenge is paid off for the champion.
I'm really pleased for you two, because this could have been this could have been
I'm really pleased that you two keep second and third. Well done, boys.
But this could have been like a Crash Bandicoot thing all over again, where I'm like 5 or 6 seconds ahead. And then this is no fun or no element. This had a genuine element of threat. We're within 2 seconds of each other. This happened the same thing with Gran Turismo. We were within a second and a half of Cardinal's pace time. So well done, us. We're getting better at our respective opponents' genre of choice. So.
It's because we're forced to play them. But shall we get to the wrap-up section?
Yes.
Sure. Draw a line under this. We'll draw a line under this.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat,
There's
baby,
more.
Because this one's a screamer!
Now, this is the first time I've ever used a soundboard in an episode.
Soundboard.
I'm so confused now.
Okay. Let's cast our minds back 1 hour from this moment in time. We did a thing called reader interactions. Remember we talked about this?
Yeah,
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'm going to redirect your mind, Tomahawk, to the message that Parsival, good friend of the podcast, best friend of the podcast, I would say, his message. And it was, best of luck for the season ahead, guys. Hoping for a few controversial moments. It's always good to have those. So, Tomahawk, before we go any further, is there anything you'd like to say? Is there anything you would like to own up to, Tomahawk?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I feel like we need to explain this to our loyal listeners who expect a fair competition environment where everyone plays by the same rules. Okay. No.
I closed my mouth now. Sorry for anyone viewing. My mouth's just been open.
No. This is how this plays out, okay? I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit, pull the veil back and let the audience know how high scores, high stakes work. We play the challenge game the week before the episode goes live. We have a cutoff date, a cutoff time. And the cutoff time is always the Sunday prior to episode record at midnight. Bang. Once midnight comes, that is it. Now, Cardinal, this episode was originally meant for last week. Do you remember this?
That's true.
Yes. So
Life gets in the way.
I went digging through our group chat where we plan all of high scores, high stakes, and I looked for the deadline date for this challenge. Okay? And I found it. It was May 25th, which is the Sunday before we were due to record this. Now, that's fine. I had my 3 scores uploaded on the 25th. Did you, Cardinal?
I did. They
did.
were uploaded as of the 25th.
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk, you uploaded yours to our Google Drive.
Yes, which is fine.
At the time.
Which is fine. We could see them there. They were there. They were populated. They were uploaded to something. We were happy to accept that. Okay? We were very happy to say, I was like, you know what? That's fine. Let Tomahawk upload it anywhere he wants. Because life was happening and concessions need to be made every now and again. However, I was alerted last night to a horrible realization that Cardinal Smith had a notification on his PlayStation telling him that his time in Climbing Run had been beaten by Tomahawk on Thursday, the week after the deadline passed. I was horrified by this because that is 4 days after the deadline closes. And I was like, no, there's some mistake here. And Cardinal was like, just check your PlayStation, Luvva. And I did. And I also had a notification on PlayStation that my time on Roll and Run had been beat by Tomahawk on Thursday, 4 days after the deadline passed. Now, you said it during the last challenge. I really like this because you can't see each other's scores. That is not true. I'm going to pull the veil back a little bit more. Every single time I did a speed run, I checked my friend's leaderboard. I know that the deadline date of the 25th of May at midnight, I was winning Rolling Challenge and Cardinal was winning Climbing Challenge. We have proof, and the editor will throw it up for us. Is there anything you would like to say, Tomahawk?
No.
Season 4 vibes.
I am sensing season 4 cheating Tom vibes. That is an egregious disregard for the rules. Would you agree? Would you accept this, Tomahawk?
I mean, if the glove doesn't fit, you must quit.
So,
wow. I mean, way to go, Sony, for keeping everyone accountable.
me, absolutely. Now, me and Cardinal were talking about this last night, and we were like, what happens now? What do we do? Like, I accused you a couple of times last season of cheating. A lot of the time that was tongue-in-cheek, and I didn't truly believe you were cheating, to be fair. This time, I don't have a single defense for you here, Tomahawk. This is 4 days after the deadline that you set. had passed. Now, I get that the challenge was delayed by a week because lifing. I have no issue with that. If you wanted to extend the deadline, I just think
Life.
I have said that we are all about integrity in the sport. Without integrity, the sport is dead and it means nothing. We all have to be playing from the same rulebook. If you wished to extend that deadline by a week, I think it's only fair and sporting of you to tell Cardinal and me, so we are all afforded and we're all playing by the same rules.
Oh my god, this is
So-
too funny. I don't even have a defense. This is like
You've been caught.
genuinely. I've never like I would never have thought.
I don't believe you.
No, but
Cheater.
I genuinely am just like. It never even occurred to me that everyone in the friends list would probably get a notification. I would say everyone in my friends list now has a notification that has happened.
Well, we only got notifications because we were the previous leaderboard leaders, and it said reclaim your top spot because you've been beaten by Tom, and it gives us the time and the date.
Oh
that you
my
beat us.
god,
That's
Sony
right.
and Asobi. Oh my god, that is
So-
the funniest thing.
So me and Cardinal were talking about how do we approach this? Do we take the FA approach of ignoring it and hopefully it will go away?
We take
No.
payments.
I mean, brown envelopes, but no. We have decided that there is precedence for this within the lore of High Scores, High Stakes. And I'm
Okay.
going to ask the listener to cast their minds back to Trials Fusion.
Oh goodness.
Do you remember Trials Fusion Challenge? Where the challenge changed last minute. Cardinal misunderstood and thought if he lost the race that was him out and he had to drop out the challenge. And that's exactly what he did. Which meant that, Cardinal, what was the result of that for you?
Not a great one.
It wasn't a great one. It was a pretty bad one. But can you remind me what the result was?
I didn't get any points.
There
I
was
DNF'd.
a DNF, did not finish. So Tomahawk, I am very happy to give you the 3 points in Mountain Run because that was submitted before the time and it was a genuine you've come first there, and I have no issue giving you 3 points for that first run. Now I do have an issue giving you a point for the next two because as far as I can see there was no valid run submitted before the deadline. Now this brings me on to the second part of the story. I was like, well, he threw his runs up onto the Google Drive. If they're there, we can accept those times and we'll give them the points based on that. Tomahawk, can you please explain what happened to the runs on the Google Drive?
They may no longer be on the Google Drive.
That is right, because Tomahawk tried to cover up his cheating by deleting them. And what he's done is he has cost himself the points that he would have got for those next two runs. So unfortunately, Tomahawk, we have to have a tight ship. We can't allow this sort of behavior. We can't encourage it. We can have no further repeats of these actions that are unexplainable, undefendable, and undeniably cheating. As judge, jury, and executioner of High Scores, High Stakes, I hereby deem that for the Champions Challenge, you are walking away with 3 points. And the 3 points is for winning Mountain Run. For Rolling Run, you did not submit a valid time, therefore it's a DNF. And for Climbing Run, you did not submit a valid time, therefore it is a DNF.
That I
High
have.
Scores, high drama.
That is a hell of a way to kick off season 5.
It really is. I couldn't believe when Cardinal goes, check your PlayStation notifications now. That's exactly it.
That is, I mean, like I'm gonna hold. Fair enough. I will hold up my hand and say yes. I may have posted updated results after the fact. If you want to paint a narrative of clandestine network, a criminal enterprise, then so be it. I think Parswell would really appreciate that. I'm willing to, whatever the tribunal has come with, I will take in poise, grace, and dignity.
Right. So now what we have to do.
Oh, goodness.
Now what we have to do is come up with the actual league table. So in Mountain Run, so Speedrun, Tom, you're getting 3 points. I'm getting 2 points. Cardinal's getting 1 point. In roll and run, Tomahawk, you're getting 0 points. I am getting 3 points, and Cardinal's getting 2 points. And then in climb and run, I came second, so.
Yep.
Or should we just keep the points? There is no first place. We can't have a competition with no first place. Am I right in saying that? Right?
However, I'm gonna hold my hand up. However, you guys feel is a fit punishment, I will accept on this one.
And then that means in climb and run, Cardinal, you get 3 points. I get 2 points. Tom gets 0 points.
I think this is the best route. That's the best decision.
So,
yeah, me getting 3 points. Fair enough.
So the real league table after episode 1 of season 5, after all that drama, and fair play to Tom for going doing what. I deserve this. I was expecting a fight. I was like, let's go. No, the real league table then is after 1 episode of season 5. I am top with 7 points. Cardinal is second with 6 points, and Tom, you're third with 3 points. It is high scores, high stakes history here being made. We have called out cheating, and we're saying no more. It is also the first time in high scores, high stakes history that the champion hasn't won the challenge. I would like to add that if you had just kept your Google Drive submitted runs, you would have won this challenge by 1 point. And that streak would have kept going. So you've shot your foot in the twice. You shot yourself in the foot, not once, but twice. Twice.
What I will say though is having broke that little
pressure's off for next season.
Exactly. Yeah. So now the road to back is going to be even sweeter.
Yeah. I would also like to add that the last place I want to be after episode 1 is in first place, because whoever is first after episode 1 has never won the season. That they are first in episode 1 for. So this is the last place I want to be.
We've done 113 episodes, if the fact checker can affirm that.
Yeah, yep.
I have never been more shook than what I have been after this. And fair enough. I will take this as what it needs to be. It is inexcusable on my part. There will be a press conference. My PR people are already drafting a statement.
It is a learning moment for everyone. The
legal letters.
I mean, yes, it is what it is. It's not malice cheating.
No, it's not.
I believe it is not. It was never to gain a competitive edge. It was, yeah. It is what it is. I'm not gonna try and defend myself in any other light other than there we are. I'm paying my penance.
Yeah, exactly. Karma has happened, and I am happy to draw a line under it. We'll never mention it again. We will.
We'll always mention it.
That's gonna come up every episode.
But just let it be a warning to everyone else here that cheating never prospers. It took a wee bit of sleuthing. We got to the bottom of it. It is what it is. And let's draw a line under it. Episode 1 of season 5 has been an absolute banger because of it. Thank you very much for the content, Tom. We appreciate it. And just a quick message to Parzival. I feel like the genie from Aladdin. Your wish is my command. And Tomahawk, you ain't never had a friend like me. Let's get the wrap-up section. And that is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. Absolutely wild behavior there, Tomahawk.
Drama.
Absolute drama. Parzival has got what he wanted. I just don't know if it was in the form that he expected it to be in. Parzival,
on the form I expected. Never mind that.
You're welcome, everyone. That is some great podcasting. But we have got nothing left to say here this episode, so let's just quickly recap where you can find further content to fill out your week from High Scores High Stakes. That is go to highscoreshighstakes.com. That is all you need to know, so that's all I'm going to tell you, but make sure you leave a review, 1 star to 5, and if you want to leave a written review, that's even better. And if you want to share the podcast with a family member or a friend, that is much appreciated as well. And that is it. Season 5 has begun with a bang. So, until next Monday, I've been Mr. Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Monday. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Lock 'em up, boys.